we are right now in our doing mode. No, like it started with the pre-Purim, where I felt like, and one of my friends said, it felt like a mini Pesach, Ilana, like trying to remember all the people that I have to give shlach manas to, all the things that I have to do, especially in Yerushalayim, that it was 3 days. Doing. And then we go right into the next day, which is what? Already we're thinking about Pesach. What am I going to do for Pesach? How am I going to prepare for Pesach? People are starting to get a little bit stressful. I'm starting to hear comments like, I hate Pesach. I don't want Pesach. I don't like the preparations for Pesach, which makes me so very sad. And I thought to myself, what is going on? What are we doing? And that's just the problem. Maybe is that we are doing a little bit too much. This week's Parshat Vayekel comes right after Purim. And what does it say? First of all, Hashem tells Moshe, gather all the people. Like, we need a community here. We need to gather everybody. And then once we're gathered, what are we going to be instructed? Not actually about what you're supposed to be doing, but we're instructed about the concept of not doing and of about being, which is the concept of Shabbat. Moshe comes and he says to Bnei Yisrael, don't forget, like, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but you got to keep Shabbos here. It's huge, it's important. And he brings in, what's the halacha here that is like one of the things that stand out of keeping Shabbat? Don't pass a fire in your dwelling places. And now Zohar comes and brings, what does it mean not to pass a fire in your dwelling places? Don't get angry. Don't get angry on Shabbat. Well, how can I not get angry when I'm so stressed out, when everyone's together, when all these things are happening? How can I not feel stressed out and angry when I'm, preparing for Pesach? And it's just like I have so much to do and I feel myself doing. Well, it's because we're losing sight of Shabbat. That's right. If we remember what Shabbat is, which is the goal, it's the purpose, it's the concept of the importance of being and not just the doing, then we actually wouldn't get angry. We get angry when we lose sight of the goal. And this week, what happened to me? My little Moishi, 3 years old, there he is with his bowl and a box of cereal, I should say. He takes the box of cereal and he starts to pour. And I'm seeing this, I'm thinking, okay, that's going to be like a huge mess. I got to stop the kid. I have to tell him, no, let mommy help you. I'll do it. Next time, ask for help. And instead, I took a deep breath and I said, Moishi, you're hungry. You took a bowl. You took the cereal and you're making yourself a bowl of cereal. Yes, because what's my goal? I want to raise a child who's independent, who's resilient, who knows how to do things, who's not needy, and who can make messes, and it's okay. I want a goal of a long-term, healthy, happy child. What does Hashem tell us about Pesach? He says, when you're saying the Kiddush, tap into the fact in this Kiddush it says it's about Azman, it's a time of happiness and joy. Simcha v'sason. It's a time of freedom. It's our Zman Chewatenu. It's a time when you're supposed to tap into Hashem loves us. He chose us. He lifts up our language. And yet we forget that. And we get so caught up in the doing that we forget, oh yeah, it's also about being. Shabbos, Pesach, it's about being. Even the preparations are about being. The preparations are to get to the Chag with simcha, with joy, with happiness. So if I'm so stressed out about it, I'm causing everyone stressed out around me, if I'm losing sight of the goal and getting so angry, then I'm really off track. And the Torah tells us you can't. He says, gather yourself. Who? Gather the people, gather yourself, and remember, what are you doing and why are you doing it? Where's the joy? And then as we are doing those 6 days of the week where we're making that dwelling place for Hashem, which is ourselves, our bodies, right? The Shekhinah dwells inside of us, which is our homes, our communities, everywhere we are, dwelling places for Hashem. Hashem says, do it with how? Lift up your hearts. Do it with joy. Do it because you want to do it. Now, what happens if you don't want to do it? You just can't find it within you. You're tired. You're exhausted. There's no desire. So I say, take a step back and ask Hashem, help me to want. Because the moment that we have desire, what happens? We do more than even that we thought we could. And in fact, Moshe, there was a certain point Moshe said, enough. It's enough. Know your physical boundaries. I don't want you to push yourself. I don't want you to get resentful. I don't want you to feel guilty. I want you to know yourself and know your limits. I want you to give, but I want the giving to be, and I want the doing to be, I want the creating to be with joy and with like lifting up of the heart. So again, tap into that I need to want to do this. And the moment that I have desire brings down our sages, then you know what happens? Hashem says, even if you don't know how to do something, like even if you were a slave in Egypt and all you knew how to do was work with bricks and mortar and you have no idea how to use gold and silver, I am going to give you the tools and the capacity and the wisdom to make the most beautiful artwork. Why? Because you want. So many times I've heard and I felt myself, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to make this family. I don't know how to make these children. What I mean by make is I don't know how to create a home that's, I want something. I never had it myself. So how do I know how to give it? How do I know how to transmit something that I never received? I've heard this a lot from people. And dare I say, you know what? The first place, starting place is the desire. When you have desire, and of course you have to acquire the materials, and you have to have the leaders, and the mentors, and the teachers. But the first step is the desire. The moment you have desire, Hashem opens it all up to you. Before you know it, you actually have the tools, the skills, the teachers, the know-how to. But there has to be desire. So we have to take a step back. We have to remember, why am I doing what I'm doing? Connected to Shabbat, the goal. We have to remember, if I'm starting to get angry, resentment, feeling guilty, then it's too much. Moshe himself said, stop, die, it's enough. That it has to come from desire. It has to also remember that it's not just about the doing and the giving and the creating. It's about the being. Don't forget yourself. Don't lose yourself. Shabbat Shalom.